Hello, today I want to explore why a pay gap exists in Hollywood for black women. We will examine how black female writers portray the work of Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, whether or not they highlight Meghan's work achievements and expand her value to a new audience. If not, what then is the value of working with black female writers who do not explain the groundbreaking work of other black women? The Gracie Awards announced that Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, was named Top Entertainment Podcast Host for her groundbreaking podcast series, Archetypes. This award honors outstanding original content that both entertains and informs in a highly engaging and authentic manner. Archetypes was a ratings bonanza. In addition to this achievement, Duchess Meghan's Archetypes won the People's Choice Award for the Pop Podcast of 2022. One Archetypes episode had 19 million listeners. CBS, ABC, CNN, and even Fox News would kill to get these kinds of numbers. Yet there is not a single writer who has highlighted these accomplishments when they speak about Archetypes by Meghan the Duchess of Sussex, or when they write about her work or about her life in general. You see, leaving out the value that Meghan brings to the marketplace is problematic. There are no black writers who review and critique Kate Middleton's work the way these women do Meghan's. When you visit a website such as Madame Noir, which purports to be a sophisticated lifestyle publication that gives African American women the latest in fashion trends, black entertainment news. Yet the news they have regarding this woman, Meghan Markle, who beat Joe Rogan's ratings, is primarily gossip from Rupert Murdoch's rabid tabloids that never portrays black people in a positive light. We have a problem. In essence, this publication is a non-productive asset for black women. We certainly understand that tabloid readers are the dregs of society, but why would a magazine that claims to be sophisticated ever quote a dumpster diver such as Radar Online or Page 6 or The Sun or Daily Mail? Why do black women accept and perpetuate the negative stereotypes that are pushed by Rupert Murdoch's right-wing rags? Alison P. Davis was granted an interview of a lifetime with Duchess Meghan, featured in NY Magazine's The Cut. This interview should have been career-defining work for this black female journalist, for any journalist anyway. Royal reporters cried and begged to interview Meghan and were refused, so this opportunity was huge for Alison. Archetypes dominated the US Spotify charts. Archetypes knocked off Rogan from the #1 spot, something no other podcast had ever done in Spotify history. Archetypes with Meghan's series had topped the Spotify US and UK charts, Canada, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, France, and India. Meghan led Spotify's expansion overseas, winning a global audience, which is a business goal of the podcasting platform. All Alison Davis needed to do was articulate this achievement and give context. The purpose of the interview was to shine a light on what Meghan had accomplished and communicate why it matters, how Archetypes adds value to Spotify stakeholders. Everyone who follows podcasts knows that success is measured by 1. Audience numbers, 2. Number of subscribers, 3. Social media engagement, 4. The number of 4, and 5-star reviews. In just the first few weeks of Archetypes on Spotify, Duchess Meghan and her Archewell audio team had redefined the status quo by booking successful guests like Serena Williams, talking ambition, Meghan and Mariah Carey, talking about achievement and gaining power as women of color. They were already shifting the culture and making history. Here was a black woman having intelligent conversations about power. Archetypes was #1 in 7 countries, and in the top 10 in 47 countries, consistently proving Meghan was an asset to Spotify. 19 million listened to one episode, making it the best original podcast debut in Spotify history, beating Joe Rogan in ratings. So many people were perplexed by what royal reporter Locke tweeted. Lots of commentary on Archewell audio productions in the aftermath of the end of the Spotify deal. Some of it's more constructive than others, but approaching the 3-year anniversary of signing their Netflix deal, the temperature check is warranted. Yet Alison Davis and R.S. Locke and Natasha Decker have trivialized these accomplishments to the point of never even mentioning them. Locke built her career on the Sussex name. She does not write about anything other royals except Harry and Meghan. Contrast this with the Black New Media podcast, Earn Your Leisure podcast interview with Steve Harvey. Steve explained that this interview was the best in his decades-long career. The podcast, which is run by young black men who understood that media must communicate value. They understood that most people see Steve as just a comedian when he is more than that. The interview was groundbreaking. It was career-defining because the podcast clearly articulated the value that Steve Harvey brings to the business of entertainment. The interview forever defined Steve Harvey as a business mogul, resulting in new opportunities across the world. Subsequently, Steve Harvey is now a sought-after speaker at business schools and law schools. An extraordinary achievement by a new media outlet run by black men gave Steve Harvey access to a new audience. Spotify and Archewell parted ways, and Bill Simmons, a Spotify executive, went on an unprofessional, irate rampage against the Sussexes, slandering their name and spewing tabloid talking points. It was a surprise turn of events because, in the Q3 2022 earnings report, Spotify reported that total monthly users went up 20%, exceeding expectations. The earnings report attributed success to Duchess Meghan Markle's Archetypes podcast. Archetypes was a notable #1, exclusive on its trending charts in several countries, and top 10 in 47 countries, adding significantly to Spotify's financial results. R.S. Locke tweeted an article by a well-known tabloid writer justifying the actions of Spotify and claiming that Meghan and Harry did not meet volume requirements. She knows full well that Spotify is in partnership with Wall Street Journal, a publication Prince Harry Meghan's husband is suing in the UK, yet she never gives context to this smear. Locke and all the other tabloid talking heads had never seen the Archewell contract, so this volume clause they are talking about is simply conjecture. R.S. Locke went on to quote Tabloid Gossip, who stated, "People who have worked with the pair say Archewell was undermined by their inexperience as producers and trouble finding material consistent with their brand." These statements feed into the Murdoch narrative that Meghan and Harry are lazy and that their brand is failing. You see, the Netflix and Spotify deals gave the Sussexes their financial independence from the royal family. The British royal family works for Rupert Murdoch, so they have been trying to undermine the Sussexes' earning potential since they left Britain. Locke, Davis, and Madame Noir's Natasha Decker failed to highlight Meghan's work achievements and to expand her value to a new audience. All they did was parrot tabloid narratives. What then is the value of working with black female writers who do not explain the groundbreaking work of other black women? Davis's article was intended to support Archetypes and focus on the successful accomplishments of Archetypes. What Alison wrote was a snarky, sensationalist piece for tabloid consumption. So, it begs the question, why do black female writers such as Davis or Madame Noirs such as R.S. Locke, who is respected in the Sussex community, sacrifice her credibility to platform gossip writers spewing Murdoch and Palace talking points? Black women are the highest educated group in America, yet lowest paid in business or in Hollywood. The average union actor makes around $54,000 a year, while vast majority makes less than $1,000 a year from acting work. Part of the reason is that black journalists are unable to articulate the value that black women bring to the marketplace, leading to undervaluing of the work of black women. The average black woman loses out on almost $1 million during her working career due to the pay-wage gap. Unfortunately, black women in Hollywood rely on black writers who see the world through tabloid narratives to tell their stories. Trained in whataboutism, these writers would rather push tabloid talking points than provide context and insight into things mainstream media does not care to talk about. Until black female writers learn to articulate black women's achievements in the entertainment industry, and provide context to their work environment, then women of African heritage in Hollywood will continue to be paid the least. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Give us super thanks, super sticker, and super chat. Also subscribe to the Duchess of Impact channel and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you never miss any updates. Consider joining our channel membership by clicking join. Leave us a comment. Thanks for listening.